There we go. Let's see what kind of view that we have. Amazing. I feel like we're probably okay about there. Welcome. See how I get my feet. Little metal qigong today. Up on the balls of the feet, crossing the wrists at the third eye. Settle, let the arms swing. Up, settle, let the arms swing. I'm kind of crashing down on my heels, which is pretty good on this unfrozen lawn. But if you're doing it on a harder surface, maybe with sneakers, or certainly with less intensity. Up, crossing the third eye. Okay. What I want to make sure is that when I cross the third eye, I just observe the inner wrist. I don't divert my gaze to something I would prefer to see. Like I had been looking out here at all this greenery, and when this is in front of my eyes, I might turn my nose or turn my eyes or both to look at some more of the green I had been looking at instead of accepting the wrist. And leg one. Inhale, exhale. And however many swings you get, which is to say, when it feels like enough swing, or when you feel ready to rise up, fall. And what I want to do is really just kind of receive this shock through the system to loosen the tissues, loosen the mind, the kind of attitude. I don't want to just overly control everything. I want to loose, kind of accepting attitude, a releasing, a falling. Sometimes when we talk about metal, we're talking about this descending energy, this separating energy, down cutting energy. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Let the body shake. Right? Feel the buttocks shake. Feel the jaw, maybe teeth shake. Feel the belly shake. Notice that the vision may blur when you shake. Coming up. Notice that there's much more of interest for the eyes and the mind outside of the inner wrist, very likely. I suppose maybe you have a cut there, or a tattoo, or a welt, and you have some interest in it, I guess. I want to just accept this view. Inhale. So I'm up, the heels are up in the air, knees are straight but unlocked. Shoulders are still down, eyes are still on the horizon, although I don't see the horizon here. Okay. There's my little loosening. I'm going to just translate this into shift, shift, shift. So shifting forward, and I'm going to be practicing grabbing with the toes, grabbing with the toes, grabbing with the toes. More advanced way to do this is to grab with the toes here when the toes are in the air, and then straighten the toes only to grab again when you're on the toes. Maybe even the heels are almost unweighted or almost up in the air. So grab and try not to lose the balance. which I suppose can be happening if you are too focused on the toes. But the simple way is just to grab when you're forward, release when you're not. So that's my shifting. Good. Good. And then I'll just transition. I kind of shifted the weight to center, letting the arms play out, and then I'm going to just coordinate. Guide it up and down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. I think we'll do a few of these with a striding stance rather than the practicing horse stance here. See what the feeling is. Generally, when I do metal, I really just pick one, maybe two things, and I work them. I find when I do like earth, I kind of go through a whole I guess materia medica or shelf load of practices, and one leads to the other, and then I remember another. I tend to just do metal as very, very simple, just one practice and do that for a while, or maybe two. My guess is that I'll just be doing one or two here as we warm up. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Metal always feels like this creative energy. Creative energy is also destructive energy, like Shiva. It's a separating energy, downfalling energy, dividing energy. It's a nice thing to come into consciousness of or with after a state of awareness of Wu Qi, or pure simplicity, edgelessness. So I'm going to open one foot, just 30 or 40 degrees, 45 degrees maybe, and step the other foot out pretty well perpendicular to that. I'm going to start with the weight forward with that pecking shape. So the weight's forward, and this could be done in a longer stride, so lower stance, really nice. And this hand will be alternate, so one pec up, one pec down. This is, speaking of pec, this is right by the breast here. So the weight stays forward, and we extend. Rotate. And then draw this back towards the other pec, or almost armpit, I guess. Good. Now I'm going to shift back and extend the drawn back hand towards the extended hand. Rotate, no contact here. And then draw this away, not unlike drawing a bow. And so I'm on the rear leg, so then I'll come forward and extend. Inhale, exhale. Shift. Extend. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale with the weight shift. Exhale. Rotate. Draw back. And when we do this, we want to have when we do this, we want to have the elbow up instead of down. Good. So when this draws back, instead of drawing back this way, it draws back this way, as if only the pecking shape will make it to the pec, as opposed to the bicep, tricep, elbow will make it there. Those head on out to the side. So we've kind of done each side here with this leg weighted, and then I shift the weight, and I'll do each side with the weight where it is now. So I've gone from my right side to the center and now back to the left. I've completed both, and now I'll shift and extend. So unlike drawing a bow, which you can kind of think of this as, I'm not trying to, I guess I'll hurry ahead here. I'm not trying to turn the chest. I'm trying to draw back the elbow, right? Draw back the elbow. And the chest can turn a bit, but I'm not trying to square away here. Good. Shift. Good. Here, I think I didn't shift back that time. I was thinking about offering another detail. I'll shift back here. So we'll change sides. Good. You can start on the rear leg or the front. I'm on a little slope here, so I think front feels a little bit easier for me. We have all the fingers touching the thumb tip where that lung line ends, and the energy comes back here to the start of the lung 1 and lung 2. And we can think of this as being very active in that lung line. Shift. Notice that my elbow's not here. My elbow's floating up. Maybe it's on a surface of water. Shift. Stay forward for there and back again. And then I'll shift to the rear. There and back again. And shift there. Back again. Really committing to keeping the shape of the hands throughout. Maybe you have an opportunity to learn of any excess tension that you have there, that you're starting to feel cramping or tired, and rather than just stopping the exercise, kind of recognizing that one of the reasons for that cramping is that I was too tight, right? This excess strain that I put into the system. And we have an opportunity to learn from these practices. If we recognize that when we tire or cramp or get sore or exhausted or even bored, that it may be teaching us how we came into the practice. Right? Too much micromanagement and control of the body, for example, too much tension, too much involvement of the muscular tissues to create a shape or a movement or an action. I'll come back in. Inhale. So I think I just did that side, so I'll step back left and right. And I'm gonna bring the palms up, bring the weight forward, and bring the palms down, bring the weight back. Bring the palms up and down. So when I learned this, this was kind of a scooping energy, kind of a reaching, pointing energy. And you might imagine if I had a spear here, that spear is going to tip, probably break my teeth as the tip falls and the rear rises. And that's why you'd probably hold a spear something like this, right? And the practice was to cup the palm without trying to use the fingers, or certainly turning the palm towards the earth, to cup the palm to just lightly grab that spear. This wouldn't work as, if you found a target, right, that'd be too much counter force to the grip. But if you're just expressing with the spear as a Qigong, you can grab with the palm without using the fingers or without having the palm be a down pressing counterpoint to this. So I want to feel that I have this levering quality when I do this, but not the normal one up, one down. It's one lightly squeeze around with the palm, and the other bear the weight, and the two with the body weight, the mind, and the breath express. Here. So I'm not particularly exaggerating the turn here, and I'm not separating the hands where I'd have these additional forces on the tool. I'm pretty well keeping the two hands in a line, and I'm trying to keep those hands at a similar distance from one another, start to finish. Now on the way down, I reverse. So here, I would normally hold it here, and so this keeps the butt of the staff from rising, and this keeps the further reach of the staff from falling. So I have this lever that keeps the staff where I put it. And this is a grip with the palm here to serve the same function as this might, although certainly less functional. So I have a little grab with the palm, a hollowing of the palm here, and a slight down pressing here. And then the rear palm has a little hollow, and the forward palm has a weight support. So I'm changing the expression in the palms. I learned how to do this with a stick, I guess. Very, very small diameter, very, very lightweight, and then kind of graduated to like a heavier, larger diameter, but rough staff. And then I don't know if I ever really got it with a waxwood staff or spear. Probably I did not. We feel this expression in the palms. I'm going to do this in profile on the other side. You get a better idea of the, I'm not doing this kind of motion, and I'm not doing this kind of motion or this kind of motion. So express out, and then retreat, settle, and continue to express out. Not necessarily further out. When I say continue, I don't have a 10-foot away expression here and then 12 foot here, and just continuing to maintain that out expression that the spear really supports. Feeling the quality of the palms change without just changing the wrists, the arms, and the fingers. So there's this kind of extension and rise as we go, like an offering. This, of course, is really nice in a more traditional spear stance. And we come forward to like a legs parallel and come back to like a taming the tiger kind of position. Good. So that's a nice little medal. Maybe we'll just do one more. This one's also, I think we'll do with foot forward. Yeah, that'll work pretty nicely. Good. So weight's forward, the back heel is up, and both of my palms are facing to my right. Both of my thumbs. And then both of my thumbs are facing to my left. Right, so in profile like that. And then both palms. I find that I keep saying palms, describing where the thumbs go can help you understand where the palms are, particularly here where it's hard to see. So the heel is up, toe is up. Once you're comfortable with this, particularly in terms of a narrow stance and off balance, what you'd like to do is look back to the rear hand. If you do that too soon and you're not really comfortable in that stance, that could be enough to throw you off. And also if you're going too fast, it could be a needless additional challenge. Really any long stance this can work with. So I have a great shift, twist. We're doing metal. We're thinking skin and hair. We're thinking the outer bounds of the self. The nose. Working the previous one, thinking with the eyes more, and that's fine too. So this rolling in the feet. Changing our stability as we go. Good. And let's just finish with a little Santashi posture, which really feels more preparatory for metal to me, but kind of felt appropriate just now anyway. Maybe this would have been a nice one to start with. Just checking the time there to make sure I'm not going over long for everybody. Feel the descending energy. Feel the expansion, left to right, front to back, up to down. That we express to every direction and therefore achieve no direction. We net out zero locomotive expression. We feel a fullness, a less dense experience of the self. It really makes me want to. So we'll come back in and embrace the moon, embrace the horizon, embrace the moon, embrace the horizon. Check in with the middle center. Check in with the upper center. Check in with the lower center. Clear three bodies. Yeah. Clear the three bodies. Inhale. Clear the three bodies. Bow it out here. Once the future. Once the present. Stepping our left foot in. Once to the past, and thanks. Thank you all. That felt okay. Lucky was right here during the class. I don't know if you guys saw him, but enjoy.